My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. One of the most basic human needs that we have when we enter a new location or move to a new residence is to learn where the light switches are. It's very basic. It's something that maybe we don't consciously think about, but we need to know where the lights are. If we're going to turn on the lights, imagine being in a place and arriving in the daylight, and then all of a sudden, when the sun goes down and there's no one around, you realize, I don't know where the light switch is. I don't know how to turn on the lights. And as modern human beings, we've become so dependent on electric light that if we can't find where the lights are, we can really be out of luck and we could be in a little bit of trouble. And this goes for small places or big places. I remember when I moved into the parish where I now serve, it was in the winter and it was very dark. And there was someone who was coming to drop something off to me one evening after the sun had already gone down. And the whole church campus was so dark. And this person came and I couldn't see them and they couldn't see me. And I didn't know how to turn on all the outdoor lights for the church. And so it was very awkward trying to find this person and speak to them in the dark and apologizing because I don't know where the lights are. We need light, and we rely on the ability to have lamps and street lights and other forms of light available to us so that we can see where we're going, so we can clearly see the things around us. Well, Jesus, in the gospel that we read in today's Mass, you encourage us to be those lights in the midst of our world. That, Jesus, you want us to be the light. And our apostolic lives are meant to be a light to those around us. We're still reading in our Gospels at Daily Mass from St. Mark's Gospel. And so we read this parable of the lamp. Jesus said to his disciples, "Is a lamp brought in to be placed under a bushel basket or under a bed, and not to be placed on a lampstand? For there is nothing hidden except to be made visible, nothing is secret except to come to light." And so, Jesus, we are meant to be those lights. The grace of your love in our hearts is meant to be light. It's meant to bring that clarity and that surety, and you want that light of faith, that light of charity to shine for people around us. And so we have to know how to light up the world around us. That we don't turn on a light and then stick it under the bed sheets, right? So it's totally covered and it doesn't shine on anything. That would be a real waste of electricity. Rather, we light a light and we put it somewhere where we can see, somewhere prominent. Sometimes we place it up high on top of maybe a dresser or a bookcase so that it can cover more area. That's what lamps are meant to be. They're meant to be in places that we can see. They're meant to be in places that help give light to the whole surrounding area. And so as we consider this scene, Jesus, as you want us to be lights of faith, hope, and charity, as you want us to be bringing your light to the whole world, do we allow our love for you to shine like a lamp? So many people in our world are in darkness. There's so much confusion and despair and anger and frustration and sadness. And Jesus, we as your disciples, we're meant to be light. We're meant to bring the comfort and the security that light can bring. That lamp's a lamp lit in the darkness. And so that's each and every one of us, your disciples, are called to be that light. And our faith while it's not something that we boast about, it's not something that we have to publicly make a spectacle of, but our faith is meant to be a visible lamp for others. We don't have the light of love of Jesus and hide it from the world. Rather, we have to let it be seen. We should, on account of our faith in you, Jesus, we should do good things. We should do great things. We should do works of charity. And if someone asks us, why do you do that? Because I believe in Jesus. Because I know Jesus Christ. Why do you treat this person that no one else likes with patience and with love? Because I believe in Jesus. Because I know Jesus Christ. Why do you go out of your way to give to the poor? Because I know Jesus and because I love him. And so we're meant to allow the light of our faith, our virtues, to shine for others, to be an example for others. But we have to be careful that when we do this, we don't do it so that people focus on us. If you have a bright light or a lamp, or if you have like a flashlight and you shine it in someone's eyes, it's not good. They actually can't see because of the light being shined in theirs. Light is meant to help us see. But if you shine a bright light in someone's eyes, they can't see. It actually changes the effect. It goes against the purpose. And so that's the same thing with our life of faith, our apostolic life. If we want to just go shine our life in people's eyes so that they focus on us, well, then we've missed the point, and actually we become a distraction. And I don't know, maybe it's better to be in darkness than to have a bright light shining in your eyes all the time. It could be pride and vanity to want to shine the light of our faith and our virtue and our love of you, Jesus, in other people's eyes. We don't do things so that people will notice. We don't do things so that they will think that we're super holy and we're great and, oh, look how wonderful that person is. No, but rather we, with real naturalness, we just can love you, and we can go about our daily business, and we can reach out to those around us in works of charity, and we can try to live just practices of holiness without drawing any attention to them. A good lamp in a room doesn't draw attention to itself. Rather, it's there in almost a hidden way that gives light but doesn't draw attention to itself. If it draws too much attention to itself, then people look at it and the light shines in their eyes and we lose the whole purpose. So Jesus, this is the balance that you want us to walk. We're meant to be lamps. We're meant to be lights to light up the world around us. There's a beautiful image of this in the very first point of The Way by St. Jose Maria. It's probably one of the most popular points because it's the first one. But St. Jose Maria writes, "Do not let your life be barren. Be useful. Make yourself felt. Shine forth with the torch of your faith and your love." That's how we're meant to be as Christians. We shine forth with the torch, with the light of our faith and our love. We don't want our life to be barren. We don't want things to be sterile. Rather, we want to be actually useful. We want to leave a mark. And we do it by shining, but with all humility, not in a way that blinds people, but in a way that lets them actually, Jesus, see you and come to know you better. So Maria goes on, with your apostolic life, wipe out the trail of filth and slime left by the corrupt shores of hatred, and set aflame all the ways of the earth with the fire of Christ that you bear in your heart. Ultimately, Jesus, we want to set fire to the world with the fire of your love. We want to bring the light and the warmth and the comfort of your love to the whole world. We can ask our mother to pray for us. She, with all humility, whose soul magnifies the Lord, Our Lady shone forth in this real way, a light of faith. And so we ask our mother to teach us how to live this purity of faith and love and holiness with all humility. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations which you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help in putting them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.